everyone. Today we're going to talk about the authentic self. I'm Lauren, I'm a healer, and I'm here to teach you self healing because no one is here to save you. No one can save you. This is all inner work that you know how to do, and I am just here to guide you. So, when it comes to the authentic self, I find this is the overarching goal of healing because right now, since childhood, since our teenage years, our 20s, our 30s, our 40s, our lives have been dictated by wounds and traumas and limiting beliefs. And I'm sure there are a lot of you out there who are saying, oh, this isn't for me because I don't have any wounds. I don't have any traumas. Nothing really bad happened to me when I was younger. And I don't really have any limiting beliefs that are holding me back in life. So I think I'll just skip. Before you do that, give me 20 more seconds. We all, the entire world, every single human on earth has wounds and traumas and limiting beliefs that have been placed on them since childhood. You just don't remember. And they're not always these big moments that you'll remember. They're actually the really small moments that you would easily forget. It's the moments when you expressed yourself and you started crying, you were screaming, you were upset as a child, and your parents' reaction scared the crap out of you. They told you to shut up. They left you alone in a room. They left the house. In that moment, your nervous system kicked in because you don't understand the ways of the world. And your nervous system said, oh my goodness, I'm not safe. If I express my emotions, people will leave. If I be vulnerable and say how I'm feeling, people won't love me anymore. I can't be left. I'm a 3-year-old child. I don't know how to fend for myself. I don't know how to eat. I don't know how to do anything. That's terrifying. So I will no longer express myself. I need love. I want my parents' love and affection. If I'm vulnerable with them and I tell them how I feel or who I really am, they're not going to love me anymore. And I need that. I need love. That's scary if I don't have love. So I won't do that anymore either. And now, throughout your whole life, that wound has been dictating your reactions, your actions, and your decisions. That's how small and easy it is. And so, to find your authentic self, to work through healing, you need to find those moments that have been dictating your life and release them. And when I say release them, there is going to be an energetic release. There could be crying. There could be this feeling of a weight lifting off your shoulder. But there will also be this release of awareness. And that awareness is key. That's what you want. Because now that you are aware of this wound and this trigger, when something in your present happens, you will be able to look at it and take a second and say, oh my goodness, I'm being triggered right now. I know exactly why I'm feeling this way, why I'm getting a constricted throat or a heavy chest, or why all of a sudden my adrenaline is racing. It's because I'm being triggered. But I don't have to follow that trigger. I don't have to run away in fear. I can take a breath and I can make a conscious choice of what I want for my authentic self. This is how important healing is. And so, being in your authentic self is being able to stick to your boundaries, to be vulnerable, to say what you need to say, to love yourself and know that you are so worthy of love and appreciation and anything that this world has to offer. And you don't need validation from other people. You don't need to be afraid of people leaving because you trust in yourself that people come and go. Things are temporary and that's okay. But I will always have myself. And that is so strong, so powerful, and so beautiful. So that is what we were trying to do in healing to get you back to your authentic self. And I just want to give a little example of where these wounds might come up from the past and now in the present as you're an adult. Take, for example, you are at work and you have a question and you're in a big meeting room, and all of a sudden the moment comes where this is my perfect opportunity to ask the question, but you start to freeze. Your heart's pounding, your adrenaline's up, you feel the constriction in your throat, and you're like, oh my gosh, you start to overthink. Oh my gosh, my question is so stupid. People are going to second guess why I'm even hired here. Everyone's going to look at me weird. Why would I even ask this question? It doesn't even make sense, and I can't do it anymore. Like I'm going to be fired if I ask a question. And then you don't ask the question. Maybe after you go to a coworker who you trust a little bit more and you say quietly, hey, like, I don't know if this is a dumb question, but blah, blah, blah. And maybe they'll answer it for you. But in that moment with your boss, you were too afraid. That's a wound showing up. That's not just, oh, I'm shy. And then let's do an example of when you're in a relationship. Say something has come up and it's not really that bad, okay? But you have to be vulnerable and you have to speak your truth to this person. And you get really nervous. Like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I should do this because if I speak my truth, maybe they won't like me as much anymore. Maybe they'll leave. And so you hold back. And now there's this block, there's this wall between you and your person because you're not communicating to them. You're not expressing yourself. And let me just take this one step further. When you are hoping for a certain relationship and you have your checklist of, I want the person to be great at communicating, so respectful, vulnerable and open, and so loving, all these beautiful things that everyone wants. That's great. But I'm sorry to say, you probably will not attract that type of person until you have done your healing work. Because as within, so without. So if your inner world is stuck in a lack of self-love, a lack of self-worth, you're not able to communicate because how can you communicate when you're afraid someone will leave you? It's the same thing with purpose. It's the same thing with your career. You want this amazing career. You want to be an entrepreneur. That's amazing. I want you to be an entrepreneur. I want you to get out of the matrix and do all the amazing, incredible things and creative ideas that you have in your brain because they are meant to be brought out to the world. But you will be blocked in doing this with your fear holding you back because of these wounds and these limiting beliefs. The as within, so without universal law is so real and it is so easy to navigate if you would just look at yourself first. So let's just recap. Your authentic self is delayering all of these wounds, all of these limiting beliefs. And in order to do that, you have to start looking at yourself. And once you're able to delayer and you're able to bring your conscious awareness to these moments that make you fearful, but you stand in that fear and you say, I'm actually safe. And you make a different choice, a conscious choice. Your life will start changing because now your inner world has started changing. Your outer world will reflect. That is why healing and your authenticity is so incredibly important.